There we go. Okay, so that's the Lip2Cheek. Comes in a wide shade of colors as well. This one is called Spell. As you can see, it's kind of a brownish tone. I do have a lot of, I blush naturally, so I tend to get redness in my skin. And so I always pick blushes that have a little bit more of a brown undertone or like a mauve undertone instead of pinks or reds, because that just accentuates my redness. And then I love to apply my cream blush before I do any of my powder stuff, just because if you do the cream, sometimes it'll cause some cakiness over the powders. And I like to use a brush with my creams. It just, for me, it goes on a little bit easier and I can control it. I don't know why, but sometimes my fingertips just don't allow it to go on very nice because of the angle, I guess. But as you can see, just a very soft, natural. And I just do on the kind of the apple of the cheek and kind of feather it back. So when I'm doing my clients, I always have them smile. And I get right on that apple and then feather it back. You don't want like a streak of color, especially if you're using more of like a pink tone. I tend to like to do more of a natural look. So when they get like, you know, back in like the 70s and 80s, and it was like this pink race stripe along your face, I try to avoid that because I just want everything to look very natural. So I just apply my blush on the apple of the cheek and just very lightly feather it back so it kind of blends out. But that's a cream blush. Again, I love cream blushes. They really stay in place, especially if you have dry cheeks. Now, if you have oily cheeks, then I definitely would stick with a powder blush, which I think I've also put in here. You guys can see all of the products that I have linked in the 4 squares. I know I put a powder blush in there just in case some of you guys might prefer that. But if you have never tried a cream, I highly recommend it. Okay, so this bronzer I have shared before. It is gorgeous. It is also from RMS Beauty. I have been using it all summer long, as you can tell. It's a very pretty brown. This is the color Madeira Bronzer.